promise I give him 100%.
Welcome everybody to the Dreams and Bills podcast.
Dreams and Bills. Today's going to be a short episode.
Very short, short and sweet. Cool, man. Hey, check this out. So STEM Player, let's get some stats on this thing, all right? If you guys never seen it before, stemplayer.com, okay? Follow me, all right? So it's, so you can buy it right now, right? $200, right?
You can buy it right now.
There's a very short video. It's not really that helpful, but basically here, let's just go through the stats, right? So essentially what it does, you can customize any song, right? It ships with Donda. It's supposed to ship with Donda 2, which is supposed to be released tomorrow, right? Kanye West himself said Donda 2 is releasing tomorrow, February 22nd. So you know what that means. It's not releasing till June 15th. Welcome. You're welcome. In case you didn't know, now you know. Okay, so STEM Player ships with Donda. You can split any songs into different stems, right? So you separate the four separations, right? With the whole track. You separate the vocals. You can separate the, drums, is it? The bass.
Drums. Bass and
You can add specific effects. I'm reading off this website straight up. 4-channel lossless audio mixing, real-time loop and speed control, tactile effects, save, playback, and download mixes, update content and software. So specs, Bluetooth, right? The material soft skin, so it's probably a little grippy material. It's haptic control, so no physical buttons. 4 touch-sensitive light sliders. If you guys seen that, it's a little video we posted up. Each slider kind of controls each stem. It has a audio jack. Wow. Things still come with audio jacks. Comes with an audio jack, a 97 dB speaker. I'm kind of suspect on how that speaker is going to sound, but as long as you can connect it to another one, that's cool. USB-C. But so it supports like literally every audio file type. That's
what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. I mean, I'm just going based. I mean, I don't have one. I'm just basing off of the information on here. But one thing that kind of scares me, but it supports WAV, AAC. That's cool. MP4s, dude. AAC WAV files are pretty large, right? They're pretty large, and the storage capacity on this thing is 8 gigabytes. So
that's pretty small. You're not gonna have more than 64 songs, maybe.
Yeah, it's not going to be too much. It's not going to be too much. I mean, let's look into the details here, right? I mean, Kanye took off the post, but basically, he claimed first day it went on the market, $2.2 million in revenue. So he made more money than if Donda 2 was on streaming services. And he supposedly, what happened here, turned down $100 million offer with Apple Music to allow him to put it on the Apple platform. So that's just kind of confusing to me. I don't know. Maybe you can clarify what that even means, but it's kind of confusing to me, right? So Apple would pay him $100 million.
$100 million, like Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
For an album, you released it on just Apple Music.
Yeah.
But I respect the vision for what he's trying to do. As an artist, we know that Spotify pays pennies.
I'll give you exact stats, all right? I'll give you exact stats. According to NME.com, April 16, 2021, all right? So last year's figures, in the U.S., Spotify paid 0.00437 cents per stream on average, while Apple Music paid 0.00735 cents on average, which is, when you think about it, though, that's peanuts. When you think about it, though, I mean, at least Apple's paying double. But either way, it is very small. But not like Kanye, he'll still get paid pretty decently. But it is a struggle for.
The thing with the pennies for streams, though, right? It's like it just devalues music.
Yeah.
Right. It's become something just like fast food. Right. Even the Spotify CEO once said that he doesn't expect artists to release 10-track albums. He's said things along the lines of you have to be releasing tracks per week, per month. It's more so quantity over quality, right? That's what they want. The more people who have music on Spotify, the more data they have to, I don't know, there's going to be some money decision. But they've come to the conclusion that they're going to channel their profits to podcasters versus musicians, right? What's good about it is all the musicians earn the same flat rate per stream, but the people who benefit the most from it are the big name artists. Back in the day, if you sold 10,000 records, at $9 per CD, you're making way more money than you ever make via streams. Streams are way more accessible for everyone because not everyone's going to want to buy an album, right? But nonetheless.
You know what's funny about that, dude? When CDs were a thing, hold your thought, man. I saw you were going on to something, but it was just funny because I remember when CDs were more popular, when the cassettes were dying out. I don't know, it might be before your time, and then CDs were hella popular, and artists used to always complain, "Yo, I'm only getting half of every album. Support me through my merch or whatever." That's how it was then, and it's gone beyond that now, where they're literally getting almost nothing. I want to say real quick though, from a consumer point of view,
it's good for consumers.
I love it. All right, bro. I used to collect CDs. I collected CDs. I bought all the CDs. I love the artwork. I love collecting them, but it takes up so much space, man. I literally had hundreds of CDs. And it took me a while. I remember when the streamings really started getting real popular, and I'm like, oh man, I don't care. I'm keeping these CDs. I keep buying these CDs, and I'm like, yo, this is. And then I got to rip the music onto the computer, put it on the iPod Classic. Yo, this is throwback. And then it's like, okay, when I got full on into, I remember that day I got full on into Spotify. I'm like, yo, I don't need these CDs. And I literally sold them all to my, I don't think you guys have one of these stores, or Rasputin. That's local Bay Area, little chain record store. And I sold all of my albums, and that was the saddest day of my life. But then, 5 years later or whatever, it's like, it's the normal. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the norm. I think the ideal world is a hybrid between that and Spotify.
Kanye not the first one to do this. I remember I'm a huge Ryan Leslie fan. And,
yeah, exactly.
And Ryan Leslie did that where you would have to go directly to him and he gets 100% of the profits. If I remember correctly, it was some fan club type of deal.
I remember seeing that all over the news back then. Yeah. So Ryan Leslie's method, what they're all doing, this method works for more established artists. Yeah. Right? I don't think there's any platform, maybe there might be soon, or maybe there is, a platform that allows artists to be their own streaming service. Right? Nothing like that exists. But only someone like Kanye West can go have a stamp player and say, I do not want my music on streaming services because I know what I'm worth. Any big name artist can pull a Kanye West right now, and they're still going to get most of the fan base go to their websites and support them. But all the rest of the artists that are mid to small sized artists, it's not a feasible solution for you. It's possible because
small. So I guess I was trying to look into the STEM player thing. So of course, it's kind of a call to action by Kanye to go, yo, don't get pimped by these. First of all, don't get pimped by these record labels, and second of all, don't get pimped by these streaming services. Does the STEM player, does it benefit any artists at all to buy this, or is this simply just for Kanye? I know you can download the music onto
it.
It's like a nice toy. It's like a toy. It's kind of fun.
It looks like a toy. It's more so a gimmick than an actual product for now. Yeah. If you build a decent ecosystem around it, an actual app on the side that you can link to it somehow and make it be its own ecosystem, so it's a product versus just something you have. And that's not even talking about the price. $200 is way too much. I think most people are going to come to the conclusion that I love Kanye West, but I don't know if I want to. Hey,
I had it in my cart. I'm not going to lie. I had it in my cart. I almost got it, and my wife was like, hell, you crazy. Don't do it. I buy a pair of Yeezys any day,
That's his thing. Like, he tends to have designer collectible items, right? So I guess that's on brand for it.
Yeah. I'm just curious what this, in the grand scheme of things, how does this fit? Is it a gimmick? Is it something that has a longevity to it? Most people are buying this because they want to hear the Donda 2 album, and they're Kanye fanboys like myself. I'm sure. I'm a hardcore fan. I almost got it.
Yeah. No, I love Kanye, but I would buy it if I could justify it being worth more than what it is. I don't even think, just knowing how music works, you can't just have a WAV file and apply magic to it and just perfectly filter out drums and sounds and stuff. It sounds nice in theory, but in actuality, it's not going to function. I don't think it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too, because you know that one clip that they put up about they put one of his songs, and they kind of did a little test run, right? I'm like, man, no way it sounds that good. Like, it sounds seamless. I don't know if it would actually sound that good.
It would sound that good if you mixed it that way, right? You have to like separate things to like specific channels and do some interesting stuff, right? To make it.
So how does that work? Like, for a Kanye, for his album, of course, if he has, we know how a music session works. You have different tracks or whatever, and you mix it all down at the end. So of course, he has his little whatever DAW he uses, and he has the different tracks set up. So he can easily put that into the little stem player thing. And easily, but what if it's one of our songs, for example, right? I mean, it's already mixed. I'm just thinking from a consumer, right? So it's already mixed. I downloaded the MP3 on my computer. I uploaded it into the stem player. How the heck is the stem player separating the tracks out? I'm just curious how that works.
It's all based on frequencies, I'm certain. Like,
so it's not going to sound right then.
AI, huh?
It's going to sound wacky then.
Exactly, but if you have, depending on how it was designed, if the software is good enough, AI is pretty smart. It can. I'm assuming they're using some AI. If they're not using AI, if it's just frequencies, it's gonna sound like trash.
It has to be AI.
Yeah, if it's just like just frequencies, you take up the low frequency to remove the drums.
Some frequencies clash with each other, right? So it's not a complete separation. So it's gonna. Yeah, you know what? Here's this. Buy one and tell me how it works, all right? Or how about this? I can start a GoFundMe page to try the stem player. I'll give it an honest review, and see how many people donate to my cause.
Yeah. I mean,
we got to try it. We got to try it. We're talking about it. We're talking about all the possibilities, what it can possibly do. Somebody got to buy it. Somebody got to just chalk up that $200 and go for it.
I mean, I was on YouTube, man. Some people have got early versions.
Don't trust YouTube. Don't trust them.
Yeah.
All.
I mean, I feel, because he announced this a long time ago. The first time I saw a video of this was last year, probably last fall. So he's probably had some versions out in the public to test it, right? So I'm assuming most devices, they don't just like release a device. There's beta testing and stuff. So
I would assume. I don't know. Yeah. So basically, summarize what your initial thoughts are on it. Really, right? What do you think?
Initial thoughts on the stem player. I think it's great in theory for the future of music for artists. I think that if more artists did something like this, streaming platforms would be forced to pay creators more fairly, right? And it takes someone like Kanye West who's smart enough or creative or a bit eccentric enough to make a huge move like this to get them to pay attention, right?
Yep.
If someone's smaller, I don't want to be rude. The dude who took his music off Spotify because of Joe Rogan.
Neil Young,
thank you. He's big, but most people who consume music don't really care about Neil Young, in my opinion, right?
Well, I mean, there's people that do, but I think what it is the demographic, right? Neil Young is
he's not relevant. Older. That's just a fact.
Yeah, he's not relevant to the younger crowd, people who consume music in this way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean,
Kanye West he demands attention.
Yeah.
So Neil Young, there was buzz around it. Yeah. Like Kanye West making a huge stance like this it's all over all the news outlets, right? It's a huge deal because he's Kanye West, right?
Hey, if Drake does it might be GG.
Exactly. if more artists do stuff
takes the
like
big
this,
artists.
It's gonna help. Yeah. So initial impressions, I like the idea. Final, more balanced thoughts are it's way too expensive. Most people cannot afford it. Most people outside of North America who are just normal people cannot afford a $200 device because you convert that to whatever currency, that's multiple thousands, right? So most people will probably look for other ways to listen to the album.
You know what? I know that the people will. And you know what, though? Devil's advocate. $200. $200. All right, man. I got a pair of Yeezys over there. They cost me over $200. So, and people, hella people buy Yeezys. Hella people buy Jordans, and they're almost $200. So for the fact, I think if people really wanted it, they'll buy it. But I don't think it's that people can't afford it. It's just people are not going to be invested into this. Because just like you and I, honestly, look, like I said, I'm the biggest Kanye fan. Not the biggest, but Biggest in my circle. Biggest in my circle, okay? And I almost bought it, but I just don't know enough about it. I don't want to just throw $200 away. You know, like Yeezys, I know they're the most comfortable shoes in the universe. I know they have a unique look to them, unique style, and they're collectibles. So yeah, there's value in that. But in this, the specific product, I don't know what the value is because we're seeing it's too new. It's a new concept, and I think it's hard to find value in it until you actually tangibly use it and try to see what it does long term.
I just got a thought.
Yeah,
this just seems like a Kickstarter campaign.
Kinda, yeah. Without
Because,
using
like,
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's produced 1,000, 2,000 units. He's selling the idea, and this is Kanye West, and he's sold a lot of successful ideas.
Yeah.
People believe in him, but if we're gonna go based on how many Kickstarter campaigns have gone, there's many campaigns that sell you something that ends up being a way more trash product than it actually looks like, right? So,
yeah. No. To your point, yeah, because he even stated. So we currently have 67,000 units available and making 3,000 a day. So it's not one that that's a pretty fair amount, but I'm sure based on the demand, that's not that much. So yeah, to your point, it seems like it's kind of a thing where they're kind of like slowly producing it.
Yeah, because I'm curious, like it's been a few days to a week, and I don't think anyone has gotten their stamp layer, so that would imply that they're not production ready. It's the most Kickstarter campaigns. You build a few test units.
Yeah.
Then when you've got proof of demand, you start like full scale production, right? Right now, I don't think they've got a full scale. Maybe they're doing that right now.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder what the turnaround time is for
a physical device. It can't be fast.
Yeah.
Can't be that fast.
Let's see. I'm looking up right now. Can I use? Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Nothing regarding the
shipping,
turnaround time.
Does it say when it's going to get shipped?
No, it doesn't.
FAQs, blah blah blah.
That's what it is, man. It's so hard to like that information. The launch of this is just kind of, it's just kind of out there, you know.
It's basically Kickstarter, man.
Dude, and if you know Kanye, man, this dude says, "Hey, I'm gonna release my album tomorrow." Oh wait, actually, hold up, I need to perfect it. I'm gonna release it next week. Actually, next week turns into next month. Next month turns into 6 months. 6 months turns into a year. So it's kind of like anything that's I don't know. That's my thing. Like I'm just hesitant to buy it right now.
So where's the stamp player available? U.S., U.K., EU, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So all of North America. Because most places in the world cannot afford $200 just for music. That's a lot of money, right? So it's mostly the super developed countries.
Yep, for sure.
The countries that you would run ads to, anyone who's run ads knows that the countries that are more consumer driven are those countries listed there. And he says express shipping is 2 business days for US and UK orders, and the rest is up to 3 weeks for the rest of the world.
I mean, so PC Mag reviewed this thing in November.
Yeah, like the first time he showed it, he showed it to, was it Dr. Dre or someone else? I saw it on Instagram a long time ago, and I was like, "What's that device?" Someone said something along the lines of that there was another device like this back in the day that did something similar. I don't know. So
I don't know, anyways, man. Hey, buy it. That's all I gotta say.
Buy it. Should we say buy it? I don't know, man. Like,
no, I'm telling you to buy it. I'm telling you to buy it, man. Why?
No way. No way.
I mean, honestly, I would buy it, but my wife would get mad. And, you know, happy wife, happy life. Happy life. Wait, yeah, that's what it is. So, yeah, I brought it up. I don't want to talk too loud. I don't want her to hear me say this, but I did.
I brought it up today as well.
No, I don't need a whisper. Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. No, she gave me this face. Really? Like we're looking on our Adidas app right now, trying to buy some Yeezys, which is, you know. But then, you know, she's like, "You're gonna buy that little circle-y thing just for the Donda album?" That's what she thought. Like, just for the Donda album? Like,
I know.
Here's the big picture, right? Because right now we don't know too much about the product, right? I mean, most people don't. There's been reviews on it. That's cool. But most people don't really know much about it besides what we've seen in advertising. Would you pay $200 plus tax plus shipping on an album.
Hell no. What? What are you selling me? You gotta give me a t-shirt, a hoodie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like,
include extra beneficial, extra things along with just the album, right?
Yeah.
So that's something good to think about, right? Okay, $200, the value, the guaranteed value that you're getting from this, that you're getting, is the Donda 2 album.
Yes.
That's the only thing that you know for sure that you're getting. You don't know if this thing's going to be a piece of crap, But there's one thing for sure you're getting is the album, because there's nowhere else you can get it. There will be other places you can get it, but legally, it's the only place you can get the album. So you got to think of it. Is it worth $200 for the album? And I agree. Yeah. No.
We respect the vision of Mr. West, but
for sure.
and as our brother in Christ, we'd like to see him demand respect for his art. Music is art. It's worth so much, and streaming services have devalued the worth of music. It's just a fact. It's good for consumers, but
it's great for consumers. But
there is a middle ground somewhere, and until more artists who have power take a stand, it's not going to change, right? So, hopefully, more artists do something like this and demand that they get paid what they're worth, because Spotify can afford to pay Joe Rogan $100 million. They can afford to pay artists at least 25 cents a stream or 50 cents a stream. They can.
Yeah. You can keep this on the pod or not, but the one thing it kind of reminds me of, and this has nothing to do with music per se, but UFC pay. Okay.
Oh, we should talk about that.
Yeah, just briefly, it's kind of similar. With Jake Paul really addressing it. I don't know if he's being a troll or not, but whether he's being a troll or not,
he's not lying.
He's addressing a real issue, right? And it's kind of similar. It's like, okay, you got Israel Adesanya, he's the top star, right? He just got a new contract. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's probably not what he's worth. Francis Ngannou, you got all the top fighters, man, John Jones, whatever. So they were saying, the only way the fighters can get more pay is if the stars, McGregor, all of them go, yo,
they gotta make a stand.
You need to pay everybody more, right? But the people the top stars that get paid the most, they go, nah, man, I'm comfortable. You guys work on it. So it's kind of so. And when you think about it, what Kanye's doing is hella respectable, because you're putting yourself out there. I kind of reflect back to the UFC. None of the top fighters are gonna really collectively go, hey, I'm not trying to get paid top. Take care of the ones below. But then Kanye's kind of doing that in a way, kind of making a stance and stating, yo, I respect music in general just too much. There's more value to it than, just this, like you say, it's a Happy Meal or whatever. Go to McDonald's drive-thru and just grab a Happy Meal. Boom, here you go. So, yeah, when you think of it that way, Kanye's, he's always been a risky artist, but that's why a lot of people love him, I feel. He's a genius and he's crazy at the same time. Crazy in a good way. Pray for him too, though, because when you think about it, it's pretty cool. You can't help but appreciate that when you think of it in that perspective, right? Now, how it does, I don't know. We'll see, but it's definitely respectable.
He's willing to be a scapegoat almost, right? I might get less streams. I might get less publicity because people can't access my music as easily.
He injected $100 million from Apple.
Yeah.
Dude.
He's worth a lot more, number one. He knows what it's worth, so I respect it. Joe Rogan is huge, I get it. But if Rogan got $100 million for his podcast, Kanye should get probably $200, right?
Yeah, but he's getting $100 million for one album. Joe Rogan got $100 million for a continuation of episodes. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's a good amount.
Even if he's a billionaire, that's still $100 million, dude. So.
Well, but the issue with that, though, is he's helping fuel the behemoth in the streaming services, right? It's like, he could say yes and then get 100 for each album, or maybe he gets 200 for the next album. But he knows that in the grand scheme of things, he's helping squeeze the juice out of all of us smaller artists. So
and he's been talking about that for a while.
Yeah,
and people think he's crazy, but he's been talking about own your masters and stuff like that. I mean, music is music is such a complex thing. You know, when I was a kid, just making music was fun. But then you kind of learn about how much it costs, how much time it takes, all the legal stuff that's involved. Yeah, it's pretty complex. So I'm just glad he's tackling it, I guess, you know. But yeah, in terms of the STEM player, I don't know. Maybe hopefully it's not on the clearance rack for $50 in a year. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's it does well.
This could be like version 1 of something bigger.
Yeah.
Because as is, it's more gimmick than anything. If he builds an ecosystem around it, the STEM player, kind of like Chromecast or the Apple AirPlay, right?
Yeah.
You have a device that's linked to an app.
To a platform or software or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Then it'll be fire.
And,
yeah.
I mean, he's Kanye West. He could build his own platform that pays artists more fairly, right? So we upload our music to stemplayer.com, and then we have a better, more equitable, like, royalties and stuff.
I think that's kind of what Jay-Z did a little bit with Tidal, right?
But they came for it, man. He tried that, it didn't work. And Tidal never, like, really took off, right?
Yeah.
So...
We'll see, man. Hey, that's the initial. I mean, I think we put it down pretty well what our initial thoughts are on it. And, you know, I mean, I guess we'll see. Maybe we can touch back on it in 6 months or so, see how it's done. You know?
Maybe it's going to be huge. Maybe it's going to be kind of trash. But
hey, you said this might be kind of trash. Watch 6 months from now, we're going to look back at this podcast, and I'm going to laugh at you for saying it's trash. It's going to be the biggest thing in the unit, man. It's going to be huge. We'll see.
Caveat, it can only be huge if it becomes a bigger ecosystem. As is, no chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's true. It has to have some, it can't just be hardware based and that. Everything's so much software based now. It has to have it has to be connected to some type of software, some type of platform.
And Kanye West can make it happen. He's got enough money to hire a small team. It's not that difficult to do, if I'm being frank. I'm a developer right now.
Oh, hey, Kanye, hit up, bud. No, yeah, don't want to tank. No.
Kanye, but you know, I can help him with the software part. I'm not a hardware guy at all. But, yeah,
that's what it is. I'm gonna keep bothering you to buy it though, because I'm not.
Yo, it's probably gonna be on eBay.
It is on eBay for $260 right now. There's no reason to really buy it now unless you just don't want to wait for it, I guess, because you don't know how long it might take to get to you. So, I mean, they're selling for more than what they're being released at MSRP. So, I mean, that's a plus, I guess. I don't know.
For now.
We'll see. We don't need to harp on it too much more. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Promise I give him 100%. All of my sets, 100%. 100. I promise I give him 100%.